Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk and a show. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. For today's video, it is that very special day, Wednesday. We're going to go ahead and talk about last night's super secret live stream, as well as take a look at a brand new video from Amberlynn. And this one is, of course, her weekly weigh-in. Although it is very short this week, we do have a juicy, meaty live stream. So we will start there. Amber tells us that things got worse. We will discuss. She also opens up about her brother. She very, very rarely talks about her brother. She does throw a little shade at her exes. And of course, there's some laughter. There's some tears. It wouldn't be an ALR live stream without some tears. A breakdown moment. Y'all know how it goes around here. Things also got a little bit spicy. If you know, you know. Let's just get right into it. Shall we? So the first thing that she discusses, the tears happen almost immediately. She starts crying and breaking down just 4 minutes in. Right after the pleasantries, she's greeting everybody. Somebody asked the first question, how are you doing? And that must have been a triggering question for her. So she starts detailing what she has been through. If you guys remember in the previous video, she went to the ER. She had a pain in her chest and she just wasn't feeling good. She also knew she wasn't able to see her doctor for another month. But in the past couple of days, she was actually led back to the ER. She didn't actually address this, but I'm kind of assuming, putting the puzzle pieces together, that she contacted her doctor and they weren't able to see her until that appointment next month that she already has scheduled. So they told her to go back to the ER. So she did end up going back. She was a little bit vague about everything because it's going to be covered in next Monday's vlog video. Homegirl is going through it. She can't read the comments or watch reaction channels. As much as she likes to say that she never watches them, during this live stream, she said that she watched the first 6 salty crab videos talking about her live streams. I guess that's what prompted her to say that people were twisting her words. She always says that she never watches people, but she'll always have the tea, huh? Whenever there's dirt about reaction channels going around, she'll always have that tea. It's like foodie beauty, right? People are just too harsh to our girl. She laments reaction channels must be saying awful things, in particular about her vlog on Monday and the initial ER visit. She talked about the elevated D-dimer, and in the live stream, she talks about how her blood work was off. And so that's been causing her a lot of health anxiety and fear. I can't help but think it's just a little bit delusional at this point. Does she expect to be perfectly healthy at 500 lbs? She still has issues with a potential blood clot in her lung or possible collapsed lung. Do you guys remember when she was dealing with that? They thought that she had a collapsed lung, but it ended up being pneumonia. Well, whatever it was that was wrong with her at that point did not heal itself magically. And I don't think they really got to the bottom of what exactly that was, because here she is getting tests done and they can see whatever it was, it's still there. So she's very frustrated. So much is going wrong. Her lungs, elevated D-dimer, cellulitis, blood work isn't perfect. I know she claimed to have good blood pressure, which I find hard to believe. It's very much giving foodie beauty. As you get older, the health problems, they're starting to add up and add up. So you can either get better and take care of them, or you can take the foodie path and just ignore it and hope that it doesn't get worse and continue on. Nobody wants to go down the foodie path. That is so dark. It does seem like they were doing a lot of tests to really get down to what was the issue here. She has been kind of vague, right? It was chest pains. Is that all? I'm sure she's dealing with multiple things right now, but in regards to what sent her to the ER was these chest pains. But they also did an ultrasound on her leg last night, so Monday night. She has a lot of anxiety because when she got cancer, they insisted that it was a UTI, as she claims her blood work was, quote, crazy. I don't remember her saying anything like that at the time, having, quote, crazy blood work. I just remember her saying that she was perfectly healthy, just obese. So that kind of came as a shock to me. Amber lying in the past, such a shock. Ooh. But right now she's making everyday healthy choices, like a huge chef's salad with extra ranch instead of a Five Guys cheeseburger. She refers to the lung situation as a little thing in her lung. I know you guys might be a little bit confused with the way that I'm relaying this information, but to be honest, I only have Amber to go off of, and she is notorious for talking about medical issues, her own medical issues, and just getting things wrong or having it be so confusing that people think that she's just flat out lying. I apologize if it's at all confusing, but I'm a little bit confused too. As for right now, it doesn't seem like she knows exactly what is wrong with her in regards to the chest pains, but she is catastrophizing and thinking it's going to be the worst, right? She talks about how she was upset because a skinny, pretty girl posted a TikTok beezin, and she was praised and got 500K likes. If she did that, she would have gotten a lot of hate and TikTok would have even taken it down. She's just treated so much differently. She's too scared to take a diuretic when someone asks her about it. Someone does ask, and this is kind of on beat to the previous video. The evidence is adding up, I must say. Someone asked any new girls you are talking to, and she says, I'm not doing this. I can't. Not talking about my love life. That to me was like confirmation. Like she is hiding a new girl. Confirmed. Somebody also asked her, is Fingerlyn coming out for someone in particular? She says, I can't do this. So it's only a matter of time before our girl spills the beans about this new girly pop, or if they decide to be on camera, or it just ends up fizzling out before it even gets to that point, you know? She then starts playing Cuddle, Marry, Block, and she decides to block Destiny, marry Erica, cuddle Alexis, which made me think, is she finally over Destiny? I mean, back in like 2019, 2020, maybe even 2021, people would insist that she was still in love with Destiny, but I don't know. Then again, block Destiny, cuddle Feline, marry Emily. She does seem to have a hate for Dusty lately. Marry a feeder with bad intentions, girl. I don't know if that would be the best thing for you. She might get bangs. I want to see her cut her own bangs. Wow. This is when things get kind of spicy. They were doing, you know, the cuddle, marry, block, and Amber started getting into her personal life, her love life, saying that she is a switch and she likes to give and receive. She's not a pillow princess like she was with Beck. One time she even Googled, does the P word have calories? But she doesn't like adult content. It makes her feel yucky. After you finish, like you look at the screen and you're like, ew, those tabs get closed so fast. It's like a flip switches and it's not even attractive at all anymore. I don't know. Anyways, she talks about like who was the best out of her exes, who made her finish the best. And that was Tommy and Dusty, which, I mean, now it's so clear why she was so upset when things didn't work out with Tommy. Tommy was taking care of business. But then she discusses her and Beck and says that they didn't have relations after the first few months. Like after that, it was it. It was dry season. That's kind of crazy to me. I will always feel like Amber was not in love. Like, I don't even know if she was like in like with Beck. Like she didn't even like Beck. And yet she stayed in the relationship because it was simply convenient for her at the time and Beck would do things for her. It really was a caretaker relationship, live-in caretaker situation. Amber says that she is hit on more in Oklahoma than ever before and that she felt great last summer at 460 pounds. If it was healthy to be her size, she wouldn't care. Like she would just be that size because sometimes she feels confident. That was very odd. I feel like that's a lie from her, especially because we know that she said, if I was my real weight to Beck, if I was my real weight, I wouldn't be with the likes of you. I would be in California. What's your real weight, girl? But now she wants to say, if it's healthy to be 500 pounds, I wouldn't care. But then part of me is like, yeah, she's comfortable at this size and this is what makes her money, XYZ. She thinks that there is a reaction channel that secretly loves her. She begins having an existential crisis about turning 40 potentially, and claims that she stopped growing mentally at 17. Girl, that sounds like something the haters would say. She looks up Arrested Development and she feels like it really suits her. Yeah, girl, perfect. Someone asked her if she would maybe do Super Mario mushrooms, and she says, yeah. But then that takes me back to like in this same live stream, she was afraid to take a diuretic. She's scared of medicine, but yeah, Super Mario mushrooms, sure, why not? This is the part of the live stream where she opens up about her brother. I believe this is the first time that we have heard this. Maybe I forgot or maybe I'm mistaken, but it's the first time I remember hearing about it. So at 18, she aged out of the foster care system. Her brother's 1 year younger, so he was 17 and still had to stay there until he turned 18 himself. So she felt bad about leaving him, but had to go back to Oklahoma with family because she had no money or life there, wherever it is the foster family was. Later that next year, he called her on shrugs, blaming her for leaving him behind. And part of her did blame herself because she would garden with him back in the day when they lived with their parents. Now, in the past couple of years, he was doing the hard stuff and is in jail at the moment. We know that. Amber says that he is very apologetic these days whenever she talks to him, although she said in a previous live stream that she doesn't talk to him, and that's not something she's willing to do right now, although she sends him money. So I guess this was a few years ago, or she's just lying. He apologizes now, but back in the day when they lived together with their parents, he would hit her really hard. He would hit her. She would tell like foster or CPS and they would just say like him back. But Amber claims that they didn't realize how bad it actually was. It wasn't just like siblings fighting. It was something worse than that. He had a lot of anger issues back in the day. After that, she does her oracle cards, and that is the end of the live stream. All right, you guys, we are at the show part of today's episode, and we're going to be looking at this new video entitled Prescribed a New Medicine After In and Out of Hospital, In and Out of Sleep, In and Out of Sleep. Remember that? Weigh in episode 8. So this is only 5 minutes. Our girl must be feeling down in the dumps, but she still wanted to show up for work today. She must have she usually says that she records these after her live streams, right? So she just has to answer a couple of questions and say what her weight is. She doesn't even have to step on a scale anymore. So people aren't even really inclined to take these all that seriously. But even if she did, they probably wouldn't anyway. So
Hello, welcome to
hey girl, how's it, goes it?
another weigh-in video. Let's get straight into the 5 questions.
Straight into the drama. Do you realize that a wrap from Chick-fil-A is 666 calories?
Do you realize that wrap from Chick-fil-A is 660 calories? So no, it is not 660 calories. It is only 660 calories when you get the lime ranch with it. I am not a lime girly, and you guys also know that I am a dry girly pop, so I actually eat the wrap just plain with no dressing at all.
Really? She didn't even put any ranch on it? That's odd because she said in the live stream that she got a salad with ranch, a chef salad to be exact.
So with no dressing at all, the calories are 350. Do you realize how proud I am of you?
Okay, girl, tell them. I can't really argue with that.
Your last What I Ate Today video. So I had to add this because I just...
Do you realize how proud I am of you? Who even wrote that, girl? Is that her? I know people always say that she's writing these questions to herself, but that's like literally what she would say. I'm so proud of this. And it's like, that one was such a joke though. That was the chicken salad, the shredded up chicken finger. That was supposed to be a chicken salad. Girl, that wasn't a good one. That wasn't really a good one.
That was super sweet, and I appreciate people acknowledging that I really am trying.
Where is the like trying to make healthier choices? At least like try. It's like she doesn't even like try. Like try to eat the broccoli, try to eat the veggies.
I'm not the type of girly pop that thinks that tough love is the right answer, because for me, tough love makes me revert and it makes me fail. I am more of a girly pop that needs support and kindness That's what keeps me going. I know
What she is saying is she cannot take any constructive criticism or any kind of criticism, period. She just wants ass pats. That's what she's saying here. And it's not going to make any difference either way. Well, that's my feeling. It's not going to make any difference either way because she's not going to listen to what the audience has to say anyway, good or bad.
some people can do tough love and they hate the like soft love approach.
Is that her way of like blaming us for this 10-year-long journey of weight gain because of all the criticism that has caused her to revert to her old ways, or I guess just her ways?
But that's not me. How do you feel about loose skin?
Yeah.
Years and years and years ago in my early 20s, I hated the thought of it, but I'm definitely different now. I think loose skin shares a journey and it shows strength. For anyone that has loose skin, like you are beautiful. And that is literally just like an award. It's a medal that shows like you were once in such a difficult spot and you put in the work to fix it. Nothing to be ashamed.
I just feel like she's being phony here. Like, girl, we get it. It doesn't really look very good. It just doesn't. I would get something done. I mean, look at Nick Agato. How many surgeries has he gotten? I mean, a lot of people don't have access to get surgery after surgery after surgery. Let's stop lying.
Of, and you're beautiful regardless. The only issue for me is I'm afraid of like, because I've heard people saying that it hurts and you get
like, that's sweet and all, but yeah, there's so many like issues with it beyond just the way that it looks that you would want to get that done. And I'm sure a lot of the time the skin removal can be covered along with the weight loss surgery as well, which is nice. I mean, if you have good insurance, is there such a thing? I don't know. I used to have relatively good insurance.
rashes and things like that. So that's the only like downfall and thing that I'm afraid of. My thoughts on it. I have no negative thoughts on it. How society feels though, people can be really harsh and cruel about it. There are so many shallow people out there, but you know what? If I can be loved and people can find me attractive at 500 plus pounds, then I know that I can be loved and accepted and found attractive even with loose skin.
Girly Pop was feeling herself on the live stream talking about how she was going to do an OF page if she didn't care what other people thought about her getting on there and shaking it, she could make a lot of money because there's a lot of people out there, she said. There's a lot of people out there that, find this attractive. And I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, girl, there is a lot of them people. I'm just not one of them.
Does eating sweets make you tired? I've never really been the type to get tired after.
I do wonder if would she make bank or like not really? Just end up crashing and burning. She does mention making money off of people who are just like morbidly curious, aka haters, who want to go in and pay for her OF. But I feel like, yeah, a few of them would, and then they would probably put those pictures out. And since Amber doesn't have access to like a good legal team, it would just spread like rapid fire. I mean, once it gets out there and it starts spreading like crazy, it's hard, even if you do have a good legal team, to get that taken down. But yeah, anyway, I'm good. We're good. We're good. You're fine. You're fine. We don't have to do that.
Eating. I know people like to say that happens like on Thanksgiving and such, but I've never really had that issue, so no. How many diet sodas do you have now versus when you didn't drink water? So I've pretty much cut it in half. So before I started drinking water, I'd probably have like 6.
That is the craziest statement. Before I started drinking water.
Diet sodas a day, like the cans.
6
and like
cans
sometimes
of diet
like
soda,
a fountain drink would replace a couple of the cans. But now I'm just having a couple a day. So now we're gonna
a fountain drink. What is with her and like needing to order a fountain drink? I feel like a lot of it has to do with the ice. I mean, she was saying that on her live stream. She loves the Chick-fil-A ice. Maybe she's anemic.
talk about my goals for last week and if I succeeded in those. So my first goal was do not weigh in daily because I was doing that on Noom. I was weighing daily and I told myself to wait till Tuesday and I was successful in that. So yay. Next goal was work on
I mean, I would hope so.
my relationship with food and I was also successful in that. Third goal was make
In what way? That's what I want to know. In what way is she improving her relationship with food? I was successful in that. How? Because your word just does not mean much to me, sweetie. I'm sorry.
an appointment with my doctor and I did, but unfortunately it's a month from now. And now I'm going to talk about my goal for this week. I simply want to continue working on my relationship with food. I want to choose food.
Okay, so she has her doctor's appointment scheduled.
Foods that will be good for my body in moments where I would normally choose foods that probably wasn't the greatest for me. It is going to be a moderation
Hold on, play it back.
food. I want to choose foods that will be good for my body in moments where I would normally choose foods that probably wasn't the greatest for me. It is going to be a moderation.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
I'm
was
not telling
thinking.
myself, oh, you can never have these things. It's
Like, just eat the fruit and veggies and then see how you feel. That actually sounds like a good diet idea. Like, just eat your fruits and veggies first, and then maybe you'll just eat like a little bit of the crap. So it's all around just like less crap. It's kind of like the idea with like drinking a glass of water before you have your meal. I never actually do that. They always tell you to do that on weight loss when you're on a weight loss journey. But who wants to sit there and drink like a whole glass of water? Like, come on now.
just have them in
I'm hungry.
moderation, but make sure you are fueling your body. Eating things like salads, vegetables, fruits. So now let's talk about how my week went. So I have been in and out of the hospital for the last like 2 to 3 days.
Oof.
And it has been pretty hard on me. I have had so much anxiety and worry, confusion and fear. It
About what it could possibly be, right? Because it doesn't seem, they still don't know.
has definitely been bothering me, obviously.
But now things are going to be really out of order because like Monday's vlog is supposed to be all about her trip, her second trip, I guess, to the ER.
Bother anyone. And honestly, seeing my mom as stressed out as she has been because she's been worrying about me, it makes me feel really,
Oh,
really
no.
bad. So I normally, during moments
She's causing stress for Mama Lynn, girl. Mm-mm.
like this, would like turn to food, stuff my face, be an emotional eater, harder than ever before. But I have actually chosen to use this to drive me into making better choices. So since the whole hospital things
Really?
have happened recently, so in the beginning of the week,
It's kind of a surprise because just everything she has gone through over the past decade, nothing has been an eye-opener for her to stop. But hey, a few days is a few days, right? I mean, she has done this before where something happens and then for a week, she gets her shit together and then it spirals out of control again.
I have still chosen not the greatest things like out of habit, but I have also been consciously choosing good things as well.
Why is this such like a watching Amber's videos is such an odd comfort. It's just like as the world changes and things evolve, things change and things evolve and she stays the same. It's like that one constant when everything is out of the loop. Our girl is just that one constant. The one constant. Okay, girl, continue on.
This is a learning curve and I've actually been enjoying it. I was counting
It's oddly comforting. I would miss these videos if she stopped.
calories for like weeks and I'm over it. I hate counting calories.
It didn't do anything. Like, how was she counting the calories? Like, was she just like, even if she went over, she was still counting them? I don't get it. When you went out to bingo, how did you count it? Because I don't imagine they had like nutrition facts on the bingo food.
It is possible to build a good relationship with food and lose weight while doing so. But having to count every single calorie I was eating, it was becoming exhausting and overwhelming.
She says that over every time, but then she goes back to it, knowing that she's going to use that excuse when she doesn't feel like doing it anymore. I feel like do it or don't. Do it or don't. But how are you going to keep track of how much you are eating? Because I feel like she's at the point where she's so delusional, she doesn't really understand how much is too much. She needs to count. And especially if you were doing something like Dr. Now's diet, right? That's 1200. Like you have to count because you'd be surprised how fast you get up to 1200. But even for Amber doing like 2500, she still needs to count because for her, it's surprising how fast you get up to that.
And I found that I was actually making better choices, not counting calories. And on some days, I was actually eating less than I normally would have while counting calories. Because when I count calories, sometimes I find like, oh, I have so many calories left over. Let me eat 2 candy bars. But it's
You would have ate them anyway, period. Like, I'm tired of this. That's the same thing that she said before.
like, while I'm not counting calories and I'm
Let's work on that then. Why do you feel that you have to use every calorie? You don't have to.
purposely trying to choose better things for me,
You were going to have that candy bar regardless of the amount of calories you had left anyway. She was talking last night about like lowering her candy intake, and she was like, this week, yeah, I've been doing so good this week. Instead of having like a whole king size candy bar, I had half a king size. A king size? Why do we even have a king size in the house? Like, that's question number one.
Have that weird excuse in my head anymore. It's all a mental game, and I'm learning how to just navigate through it. The last weigh in, I was 516.2, and this weigh in, I was 513.0. So that means I'm down 3.2 pounds.
Yay, yay. So good. Keep it up, girl. Don't sound so enthusiastic. I feel like it's because she was spending her whole night, like 2 whole nights in the ER, right? So she couldn't exactly do her usual nighttime snacking routines. And that's how she lost the weight. But I don't know. Y'all let me know. Was it just a fluke? It could still just be like a fluke. 3 pounds off of 516 could just be like one bathroom break, you know?
Surprised I lost any weight, to be honest, because my legs are very inflamed. I actually got prescribed an inflammation medicine. They told me to only take the inflammation medicine, like if I want to, because they understand that having lymphedema, like you're gonna have this inflammation regardless. So we're gonna see. So it's like, do I want to?
Yeah, girl, like try it out, especially now what is with her aversion to medication? And then she was like, yeah, Super Mario mushrooms, sure. But this little pill, nope, I'm scared. I'm so scared. No, girl. Especially since you're having all of these issues at the same time, it could just be one less thing that you have to deal with for now. You know, that was probably their line of thinking.
Relief just for like a very short amount of time. It's a weird concept because it's not like I can just be on inflammation medicine for the rest of my life. That's just not the way it works. I just wanted to ease some of my inflammation for a little bit, and I appreciate that. But I genuinely don't see the point in even taking it if it's only gonna be for a week and then I have to just go back to feeling like shit again. I don't know. But that is the end of my weigh-in. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
So that was it from Old Girl. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's it from Old Girl for this week's weigh-in. We have a twofer hospital visit this week. Amber is dealing with an unknown illness at this time. She and the doctors still don't know what she is going through. Let me know what you guys thought about this 3-pound weight loss. Do you think it was because she was spending her nights in the ER and not snacking as much? Or was it just like a fluke? Or was she genuinely putting in the work that needs to be done? What did you guys think of the live stream this week? You guys have to watch the part where she's being like spicy. It was too much for her to sit up there and act like this is just out of the blue. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. While she sat there in Oklahoma, if you think about it, she had almost 2 years to get a doctor in Oklahoma at this point, and she didn't. So now she's complaining that they can't squeeze her in as a new patient. They could probably squeeze her in if she wasn't a new patient, right? But usually like the longest wait times are for new patients. She could have had a rapport going for over a year now, and yet she continues to use the ER as a doctor and then blame them for not diagnosing her right. It's likely a new doctor every time you're in there, you know? Something's got to give. Just when we thought things were bad, they somehow get worse. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below, and I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, everyone.